The Pistons have somehow lost 28 games in a row at the time of me making this video, and my only takeaway is that I truly feel bad for Cade Cunningham. The Pistons as a franchise have been unbelievably bad for the past several years, and it really hasn't gotten any better at all. And Cade, who was the #1 overall pick in 2021, can't do anything but sit through the pain. He's walking off the court after these games, literally looking like he's about to cry. For a team that started the season 2-1, it's actually insane they've lost this many games in a row. Everybody thought they were going to break the streak against the Jazz, who sat basically every one of their starters, but nope, they still lost to their bench unit by 8. Then they played back-to-back games against the Nets and still somehow lost both. Even though in the second game, Cade had 41 points shooting 71% from the field. If 41, 9, and 5 from your best player isn't enough to beat the Brooklyn Nets, then the whole organization needs an overhaul. Although I think 28 straight losses screams overhaul already. And to make it even worse, there's rumors coming out saying they want to trade for a new star player. Although I hate to break it to you, but Michael Jordan couldn't save this team. Not only did the Pistons have a bad roster, but they also have a bad coaching staff and a terrible front office. Head coach Monty Williams seems like he has no idea what to do when it comes to subs, and for some reason he loves to go home with his timeouts. He did the exact same thing last year with the Suns. Instead of calling a timeout to stop the opposing team's momentum, he lets them continue to stay on fire and calls the timeout way too late, if at all. Not to mention, he's one of the highest paid coaches in NBA history. And then assistant coach Stephen Silas has been a part of 3 of the 9 20-plus game losing streaks. Some people say he's just unlucky, but I say he's probably just bad at his job. How can you be a part of 3 different 20-plus game losing streaks and say, no, that's definitely not on me?
Players, y'all did everything! Y'all gave your heart! Y'all did everything right! It was the coaches!
Even Nerlens Noel, who played for the Pistons last season, said good group of players, the front office and coaches was hurting them boys last year. No BS. Something is clearly going on behind the scenes. Last year, Cade was basically out all last season, and it was clear they were tanking for Wembanyama. But this year, it makes no sense. Who are you tanking for? Caitlin Clark? The whole franchise has been an absolute embarrassment for years, and there's literally no sign of them going anywhere. Then when they finally do get a guy like Cade Cunningham, they put him in one of the worst offenses I've ever seen and don't do anything to help him out whatsoever. He might not be the guy that's going to completely change the direction of the Pistons, but he's definitely a guy that can be a significant piece on a championship team. First of all, he's played every game this season after coming off a stress fracture in his leg during last season. The only other Piston to play every game is rookie Asar Thompson. Cade's also averaging 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists a game, all while playing for the most incompetent team in the league. If you put him on literally any other team, then his numbers would go up even more. He could easily just sit out games because of how bad they are and just quit on the team, but he's not. He's showing up day in and day out just to be put in the worst position possible every game. Throughout this embarrassing losing streak, Cade has put up multiple 30 and even 40-point games. Cade is the definition of the Bugatti parked outside the trailer park. The injuries the team has had to deal with doesn't help anything, but it's not even close to the reason they've lost 28 games in a row. And even if they break the streak by the time you're watching this video, that doesn't change a single thing that I've said. They're still doing all of this just to end up getting like the 5th pick in the draft. Cade so far this season has scored 722 points. The next highest is Jaden Ivey, who has scored less than half of what Cade has at 345. He has more points than the next 2 leading scorers combined. Cade also has double the assists of the next highest on the team, Killian Hayes. And he also leads the team in steals. What more can he realistically give to the team? Yeah, Cade is one of the leaders in turnovers, but look around him. There's really not much he can do. Teams that play against them know that Cade is the guy they need to stop. He's just one of the 3 players this season that have put up 35 points in a single half. He's shown several times that he can be an all-star caliber player. And now that they've lost so many games, it's gotten to the point where nobody wants to be the team that loses to the Pistons, so now opposing teams are trying even harder. I can't even imagine what the Pistons locker room looks like. They got fans like Crispy Flakes losing his mind.
So hard to say goodbye.
But at the end of the day, Cade isn't the only person that I truly feel bad for. I also feel bad for dudes like Jalen Duren, Asar Thompson, and Jaden Ivey. All 4 of them are under the age of 22 and none of them know what winning basketball looks like in the NBA. They're gonna go to another team one day and realize how much different the league really is. The Pistons have talent, but the fit just isn't there at all, and at times it looks like nobody's trying. Cade's a good player, but you can't just will your teammates to try harder. It takes one dude to not care to make another guy say, well, if he doesn't care, then why should I? Now, all you got is a bunch of dudes not trying. And honestly, this team has so many issues, I don't see any of them being fixed anytime soon. I mean, the Pistons have been so bad that nobody is even talking about how terrible the Wizards and Spurs look. It's just a complete disaster from top to bottom. Cade has a career record of 25 wins and 82 losses. We would see a completely different player if he was on a new team. His game would actually have life and meaning to it again. Years of bad decisions and terrible contracts have done nothing but move the Pistons laterally, if not backwards. But if they can somehow turn the franchise around, it would be a very awesome story if Cade is there throughout the whole thing. If we're being honest though, that's probably not gonna happen. Comment down below what you think about Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, and leave a like to support the channel. Also, please subscribe for more basketball videos just like this one.